Today I want to talk about the troubled but brilliant guitarist of Fleetwood Mac, Peter Green. Now, why did Peter Green really leave Fleetwood Mac? This is the dark truth behind his exit. Peter Green was not just another blues guitarist. He was a visionary. The man who founded Fleetwood Mac crafted iconic songs like Albatross, Black Magic Woman, and Oh Well. And he possessed a haunting lyrical playing style that even B.B. King once said gave him the sweetest tone I ever heard. Then in 1970, at the height of his success, he walked away. Fleetwood Mac would later become one of the biggest rock bands in history, but without Peter Green. His exit was mysterious, tragic, and filled with strange twists that many fans still don't fully understand. So what really happened? The Munich incident. In March 1970, while on tour in Germany, Peter Green attended a party at a hippie commune in Munich. It's widely reported that he was given a massive dose of hallucinogenics, far stronger than anything he had taken before. Some who were there claimed that after this experience, Green was never the same. Now let's take a look at the recollections of what happened that night. The party that supposedly triggered Peter Green's downward spiral took place in Munich, Germany in March 1970 and has been shrouded in mystery, speculation, and eerie details ever since. The Highfish commune, a mysterious cult. Green was invited to a party at a place known as the Highfish commune, a hippie commune in Munich. This group was rumored to be a pseudo-religious cult operating under the guise of a free-spirited counterculture community. The commune was known for hosting wild parties filled with free love, hallucinogens, and esoteric philosophy. They reportedly sought out famous musicians and artists, hoping to recruit them or enlighten them through hallucinogenic experiences. Some believe that Green was deliberately targeted because of his spiritual nature and increasing disillusionment with fame and money. At the party, Green ingested a massive dose of hallucinogens, but unlike his previous drug experiences, this one seemed to permanently alter his mind. Some witnesses claimed that his drink was spiked with an extreme dose, much stronger than he had ever taken. After the experience, his behavior completely changed. He became withdrawn, paranoid, and fixated on renouncing his wealth. He reportedly stayed behind with the commune for several days, during which he may have been influenced or manipulated further. When his bandmates finally found him, he seemed detached from reality, rambling about abandoning music and giving away his fortune. Was it brainwashing? Some theorists suggest that the Highfish commune was engaging in psychedelic brainwashing techniques similar to those used by cult leaders like Charles Manson or the Rajneeshis. They may have used hallucinogenic drugs, isolation, and psychological pressure to try and convert Green to their way of life. Green's later insistence that Fleetwood Mac should donate all their money to charity seems eerily similar to some cult ideologies that reject material possessions. Whether Green's break from reality was the result of this incident and an induced psychosis from it, or an existing mental illness triggered by the experience, or was it manipulation by the commune? The Munich incident was the final straw that led him to leave Fleetwood Mac. Following the Munich incident, Green's mental health deteriorated rapidly. He tried to continue playing with Fleetwood Mac, but showed little interest in the music. By May 1970, he quit the band permanently, giving up his career at its peak. This event remains one of rock's most chilling and tragic mysteries. Did Peter Green just have one bad trip that sent him into madness? Or was he the victim of something far more sinister? The breakdown Was it schizophrenia or psychedelic damage? In the years following his departure from Fleetwood Mac, Green's behavior became more erratic. He started dressing in robes and sandals, looking more like a wandering prophet than a rock star. He refused royalty checks, at one point threatening to eliminate his accountant if he sent him any more money. Eventually, he was diagnosed with schizophrenia and underwent electroconvulsive therapy, ECT, which many believed wiped out his creative spark. So they literally put electrodes, just like in the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and they shocked him, which pretty much seems like it killed his creative spark. Some argue that Green always had underlying mental health issues that were worsened by drug use, while others believe that the experience at the commune permanently rewired his brain. And the strange years that followed after it, from guitar god to grave digger. After fading from the public eye, Peter Green spent much of the 1970s and early 80s in a self-imposed exile. At one point, he was found working as a grave digger. Yes, a man once hailed as one of the greatest blues guitarists was now digging graves for a living. Some say he did it for peace of mind. Others say he simply wanted to disappear from fame entirely. Redemption, quiet comeback of a legend. In the late 1990s, Peter Green made a gentle comeback with the Splinter Group. While his playing was no longer the fiery blues of his youth, there were moments of brilliance. Though he never fully returned to the spotlight, his influence remained massive. Guitarists like Gary Moore, Kirk Hammett, and Joe Bonamassa still revere him as one of the greatest to ever touch a guitar. Gibson Guitars currently sells a Greenie model in different iterations, and it's an homage to Peter Green's 59 Les Paul, both owned by Peter Green, Gary Moore, and now Kirk Hammett. What really happened? Peter Green's exit from Fleetwood Mac remains one of the most tragic yet fascinating stories in rock history. Was he a victim of psychedelic brain damage, a man who saw through the illusions of fame and wealth, or was he simply someone who wasn't built for the music industry's pressures? Perhaps it was a little bit of all three. And if you watch my channel and you hear the stories I tell and talk about the music business and how the tough ride of being in a band and touring and the ins and outs, man, if you're a fragile individual, and it sounded like Peter Green was a very spiritual individual, and his playing had so much soul to it, and almost a spiritual revelation listening to his playing. He was really a unique player that had just an almost religious experience listening to his playing. No matter the answer, what was the cause of this, one thing is certain: his music and his playing will live forever, as will the legend of Greenie. What happened that night at the commune? You know, there's been different accounts, and some have said that they went looking for Peter Green, and when they found him, he was jamming with musicians in the commune and making some really wild and crazy sounds. Really, he heard some music it was almost like he had heard the devil himself playing, and Green was right in the middle of it, making a most disturbing sound. It'd be pulled in by this cult. One can never really know, because, man, it wasn't the age of cell phones. It wasn't the age of everybody recording every moment and documenting everything. It was the time before all of that. And we may never really know. That's what makes this story so fascinating. We may never really know what happened that night, and whether it was the incident, whether it was his potential for mental disorders, or was it the pressures of the music business? My interpretation of this after researching this story, it was probably a combination of all three. Peter Green was a very spiritual player in the way that he played, the magnificent tone that he got out of Greenie. And, but man, the pressures of the music business are great. The, toll it takes on your mental, physical well-being. And then the perfect storm of going to this party at this commune and being given a, shall we say, a permanently damaging dose of hallucinogens may have the combination of all three probably contributed to his downfall. And it's a very sad story because, like I said, man, it was an almost religious or spiritual, feeling to the music that he emoted out of his guitar. It was a huge loss to music and the world when Peter Green stepped away from music. It's one thing to, not value money anymore, but man, it was a huge loss. And the world has never seen another player like Peter Green. He was a unique individual, and, his passing was a huge loss to the music industry. Will we ever truly know what happened that night? Probably not. The world will never truly know what was the cause of his downfall. But it is an incredible story, a mysterious story, and one that needs to be told.